Okay, so here we are, week 149. Pretty sure that's right. Uh, yeah, so not a great week because I've had my first loss, really, something significant anyway, and significant to me, is that I lost one of my clams. So I've got 4 clams in this tank, and my oldest, I wouldn't say my favourite, but just the one I've had the longest, that I inherited off a friend who was a roofer who had to shut his tank down for personal reasons. It was a Durasa. I've probably grown it to twice the size I received it, and it just died. It was in the middle of the tank down there. I came in Tuesday. It looked beautiful, fully extended, happy as. I came in Wednesday, dead, all retracted, just gaping. And I mean, the annoying thing is, so I set up, I got a little one, I can't remember what they're called, those Evo, like the 14.5, is it, or something like that. The all-in-one little tanks. So I got one of them just knocking around in the shed. So I brought it out, filled it up quick, took the clam out, because I thought maybe there was a very slim chance that I'd be able to treat it. I was thinking maybe I'll do some antibiotic treatment on it. But to be fair, I think it was already dead and it was past saving. It's definitely dead now because it's out in the garden. Yeah, so I sat down and made a list and think, right, what have I done which could have caused the death of that clam? And I haven't done anything different. That's the weird thing. So the only thing that's changed, that clam's been in this tank for 3 years, one of the first things I put in here, is I've added another clam. I added this huge clam from the tank breakdown, I don't know what, 3-4 weeks ago. And it did suck up the calcium. I had a drop, the calcium went down to 360. But I caught it and I dosed the calcium and I got it back up. All the other clams look fine. When I got a clam just here, looks happy as. I've got a little Maxima clam on the rock there. It looks very happy. So I don't know whether it's just unfortunate sequence of events that the fact that I did a huge clam which sucked up the calcium. I put some rower in, which I don't run that frequently, and I know that rower can suck out some traces. So maybe it was just a combination of competition with a bigger clam, or maybe this clam has added some sort of bacteria that clam didn't like. I don't know really. It's so difficult to work out what it is. So, but the bottom line is it's dead and it is no longer in my tank. So, yeah, I am gutted. There's no two ways about it. I don't like losing anything. No one does, do they? But I don't like when you lose something that big. I mean, it was like a 10-inch clam. It was a big clam, and I've had it, in several tanks. And I've always considered it to be pretty hardy, to be honest. I mean, I had it sitting in one of that little Evo tank thing, which it was huge sitting in there, really. I had it in there because this tank wasn't even set up when I got it. And it had, some pretty big temperature swings in that tank and salinity swings like you do in getting a small tank. And it sailed for all of that. So, yeah, so I'm gutted really. So I don't know whether I mean, the trouble when these things die, it could have been something it's been lacking for a long time. And it was just, I mean, it looked really happy though, saying that. It always looked very happy. It was growing well as well, which, it's always, you take that as a good sign. Good white growth rim along the shell. Yeah, so I've got no answers really. So, yeah, so a bit gutted, but such is life. I'll probably do an ICP because I've got one sitting there, so I will just check that nothing's got in the tank from some unknown source. I did have the problem with the rust in my salt mixing bin, but I mean that was weeks ago, and I think I would have seen some of the more finicky SPS and tenuous and stuff sulk rather than losing the clam, to be honest. But there we are. So yeah, so pretty gutted. Right, what else am I doing? I've got my peristaltic tubing for my Kamoa to make my new bit of Kamoa pump peristaltic tubing up. So that's enough to do 10. That's a metre long. I think they're about, I haven't actually measured them actually, but I think they're about 100 mil. They look it. But that was, I think that was £15 per a metre off of eBay. So I've got that. I've got the tiny zip ties. I'm just waiting for the little connectors now. The one downside of eBay is that I think the connectors are like, I can't even remember how I bought. I bought a pack of, I don't know, 20, something like that. I think they're coming at about £2, but it looks like they're coming from China, so they're going to be a long time probably. I don't think they're due to come to the end of the month. So, but yeah, I'm not in a rush, so it's fine. Yeah, so I'm going to remove the rower today. I'm going to test the phosphates and just see where they're at. But if they're still high, I will probably try a resin phosphate remover, just so I don't strip the. I mean, it's one of those weird things, isn't it? You know, I'm paying to put trace elements in, and then I'm paying. I mean, GFO rower is not cheap, is it? I think I paid 20 quid for that 5 litre tub, which is now in its last knockings. Yeah, and they strip out the traces. So on one hand, I'm paying to put traces in, and on the other end, I'm stripping them out. So yeah, so I think I'll try a resin-based phosphate remover if I need to bring it down a bit more. I might just see it is, and I might just run it higher. I might just interestingly just see where it goes. If it continues, obviously go up and up and up and up and up. But if it gets to like 0.3, 0.4, 0.5, and then plateaus off, I might just leave it. I think probably 0.5, 0.6 would probably be I'll start getting twitchy around there. Yeah, so that's that. So the only other thing I am doing is, it is directly related to this fish tank, but it's not taking place in this fish room, is that I had some guys around to fit a EV like car charger, and they turned the power off basically. So even though I've got a 3 kilowatt battery backup, which automatically kicks in and runs all of my like essential equipment, like my return pump stay on, my skimmer stays on, my heater stays on, all the reactors in the sump turns on, basically everything in that room down there stays on. The little satellite tank down there, everything stays on, the lights, the lot down there, because it just basically powers all the sockets down there. I've got one of the MP60s plugged into it as well, so that stays on. Yeah, and I mean, I did actually come out here and have a look just to see how much flow there was in the tank when power goes out. And yeah, there's still quite a lot, because the two Abyss returns do a fair whack across the top, and then the MP60 down there was shooting along, so I think they'd be all right. But the issue is when the power comes back on, none of the lights over the tank are on the backup, because they're not essential. You know, the tank can run without lights for hopefully much longer than I'm ever going to have a power cut for. But when the power comes back on, they just don't all come back on, and some come back on weird schedules. So out of, well, I've got 19. I've got 19 lights over the tank. 5 of them didn't come back on. 2 of them didn't come back on at all. They were just like being switched off. And 3 of them came back on. Just one was like on a moon, some weird moonlight thing, and the other 2 just on. You know, just look and go, that is a proper weird spectrum that light's putting out. So I spent about 2 hours. 3 of them had just dropped off the Mobius app. So you have to have them on the Mobius app and then move them onto the MXM Wi-Fi module. So I had to do that on the Mobius and then go onto the Wi-Fi and put them onto that again. And then it just disappeared. So I don't know why. Yeah, so anyway, so I thought, right, this is annoying. I try not to swear in these videos. I don't know why, but I swear normally quite a bit. But I thought when I make a video, I'll try and make a conscious effort not to swear, because I don't really need to, but it is annoying. So I just wasted 2 hours, and you think, Christ, does it need to be this hard? So what happened when I spoke to the guys who were fitting the electric charger in is they couldn't fit it because the towels that come into my house from the actual main power supply that goes to my consuming unit are too short, apparently. So I've got to get an electrician to make them longer, because they put their own board in. So the power comes into my house, some of it will go off to my consuming unit, the whole of my house, and then some of it's going to go off to this EV charging point for the electric car. And I thought instantly, right, so why don't I get my own board for the fish room? And then if I do anything on the house, switch the whole power off in the house or one of the circuit, it's not going to affect this room. So I had to get a Sparkshin anyway, because apparently the people who do the chargers won't do the towels for some reason. I got no idea. So I've got a Sparks coming, so he's going to put a new board in just for the fish room, so I can do any work on the house that I need to do, turn the whole house off if I want to, and it's going to be completely unaffected in this room. So I'm hoping that having to turn the power off and affecting this room will be very, very minimal in the years to come, because actual power cuts from the national grid are rare as hen's teeth, really. I mean, I've lived there 18 years. I've never had the power out probably more than 15 minutes. I've had occasionally we get like a surge or a flicker, and it might trip some of the things out, but yeah, it's proper rare. So I think if I do that and I've got the battery backup, I'm probably about as covered as I can be, to be honest. Yeah, so he's going to do that, I think, hopefully sometime next week. So let me just have a swig of tea. So it's just another little kind of layer of redundancy, really, and I'm hoping it'll just remove the headaches of having to faff around with the lights when the power goes out, because they are very annoying. Yeah, I think that is it. Yeah, so yeah, I think that's about it, really. I can't think of anything else. So other than having the death of my Clam, which I'm gutted about, I'm going to sort the power supply out. I've got my Kamara stuff ready. I'm going to do an ICP test, I think, this week, just to make sure there's nothing untoward. The trouble is when you lose something in a tank like that, which is, it's not like losing a frag, is it? You lose a frag and you go, nah. When you lose something that was a 10-inch clam, it was a big old clam. And you think, now, was that an isolated event, or is that the first in a sequence of events which is going to turn slowly into a nightmare in the weeks to come? It's like, it's what every reefer does, isn't it? You just go, why did that die? And is that an isolated event? Yeah, so I mean, I've got to be honest, every morning now I come out, the first thing I do is I look at these clams, because I'm just thinking, shit, if another one goes, I've got a problem. And I've got no idea what it is. But so far, I mean, what was that, 4 or 5 days ago? They all look very happy. So let's hope it is a one-off isolated event. Yeah, so that's where we are, really. So what else was I going to say? I'm thinking I might make some changes to the setup of the fish room, possibly later in the year. But I'll talk about that I've been thinking about it for months, to be honest. It's getting the momentum to want to do it, and two, to I'm not sure it's the right idea. But anyway, I don't have anyone to bounce any ideas off, to be honest. So it's difficult, really. I don't really talk to many people about this hobby, to be honest, other than making these videos. So yeah, so I will get to that. I was going to say something else, and I've forgotten. I do that a lot as well. No, I'm going to change that setup. Yeah. No, I've got nothing. Right, so I think I will get on because I'm going to do my water change now that I've finished this video. That's what I was going to say. Yes, right. So in terms of livestock in the tank, etc., I will not be adding anything until I think the earliest will be July. One, because I've just added all of those corals and some of them are big colonies. Obviously that clam I added was massive, could be responsible for the demise of my other one, I've got no idea. So I just want the tank to settle into all that new, I mean there's probably a ton of new bacteria that's gone in with that amount of frags from a tank breakdown. So I just want to see the tank settle in, and also I'm going away. So next month I'm going away for 12 days, I think it is, and then I'm going away again in June for, I think it's the same amount of time. I've got 2 nice dive trips coming up. One of them, the one I'm going to in April, is somewhere new for me that I've never been. It's in Sulawesi, so I'm looking forward to that. I'll probably take a bit of video. I've got a GoPro camera. I've got to be honest, I'm not a big fan of living my life through the lens. So when I'm away, because I go diving most years, and I very, very rarely take any footage when I'm diving because I just want to enjoy the dive, and I don't really want to have to faff around with the camera. And but I might take some. I'll see how I feel. But yeah, anyway. So my wife will be looking after the tank for the first vacation, and my son will be looking after the tank for the second one. So I just want it on cruise control really when they're in charge, because basically all they do is they clean the glass and they feed the tank. Everything else has to just work. So yeah, so because I am 4 weeks away from that first trip, I just start sort of making sure everything is ready for. So I need, for example, I know that my trace elements are running low. So next week I buy the 5 litre A&K chocolate marron. So I'll make sure I buy new containers of that, so they're going to last right the way through while I'm away. I'll put a new filter roll in before I leave, just things like that. I'm going to take the rower out anyway, because I don't like running rower. It strips certain traces out of the water as well as phosphate. It's very aggressive as well. It just really rips that phosphate out. It's messy as hell. It's expensive as. So other than the fact that it really does pull out phosphate, it's not got a lot going for it. So I'm going to try, if I still need to bring my phosphates down, I might try one of the resin-based phosphate removers, which are a bit gentler. Or I might just let the phosphates creep just to see, because if they get to a point where they're at like 0.3, 0.4, and then they stabilise, the tank will live at that. You know what I mean? Some people say it's horrendously high. Other people will go, I run mine higher. It's all about, if the tank still looks good at 0.5 and they sit at 0.5 and that's where they are, then yeah, I would leave it at 0.5 to be honest, rather than keep paying money to bring it down when you know it's just going to keep going up as soon as you stop what you're doing. So yeah, so I might do that. And that's one of the things that I'm thinking about when I make the changes to the sump area, is to have more biomedia in the sump, because I've got a small sump and a very big tank really. My sump's only 240 litres, I think that sump is, on a 3,000 litre tank. So yeah, that's probably the reason I want to make some changes on it, because it gets dangerously close to the top if the power does go out. Even though I've got the battery back up and it should never go out, if it did, it does get dangerously close to overflowing. So if I wanted to add any extra equipment that runs externally, or tanks or anything, and plumb it back into that sump, I haven't got the capacity for the water draining. So that's one of the reasons I'm thinking I'll probably make a change down it. Right, I think that is it for this week. So not a great week really. Let's fingers crossed and hope next week will be better. Right, so that is it guys. I will see you in the next one.